welcome back to On the Road with Flora and Note, a podcast where we share our travel stories, personal insights, and candid conversations while on the road.
And today we're still in Chiang Mai. We missed a week last week because we needed much rest.
Yeah.
It was a chaotic week actually. We worked a lot. And usually, by the end of the year, we have a lot of videos that we need to push out. This is our 11th podcast.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we also did 10 podcasts and then we decided, we deserve a little break. And how do we feel about 10 podcasts? Do we want to continue going? But the comments have been really nice for most of the podcasts.
Yeah.
So then I think we should continue.
Mm-hmm. And we're in our workout clothes because we have been picking up running the past, 2 weeks?
We haven't.
You got your new runners?
Got new runners.
Your first pair of proper runners.
Running shoes. I'm still not great at it, but we're hoping to do it more regularly because keeping up with our health when we're traveling is a bit tough. Mm-hmm. And we've been sick a lot this year. So we are hoping to find an activity like running to keep doing year-round, no matter where we travel, because sometimes access to a gym is hard.
It's so hard when you travel.
And access to
and it's
food,
not affordable.
Yeah, and access to food that makes us feel great is also a bit tricky. But maybe if we incorporate running into our routine, we will eventually feel better and it'll get easier and we will enjoy it. Firstly, we want to say happy holidays to you and to your families, to everyone that is watching today, because we are filming this on Christmas Eve and it will be live on Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas to you as well if you celebrate Christmas.
Or if you're traveling somewhere, have a safe travel and enjoy your holidays.
Yeah. And if you prefer to listen to our podcast instead of watching it, we are also on Spotify Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. Today, we did want to dive into the topic of holidays because we both have different feelings about it. So we thought, we might as well have a podcast about how we feel about holidays now. How has it changed for us since our childhood, since we became full-time travelers? Why holidays isn't really a big deal for us now.
I haven't been celebrating any kind of holidays since I was little. My family never really celebrate anything. Didn't even know about putting up Christmas trees and putting presents under the trees until I moved to Canada when I was 17.
Christmas itself is not a huge celebration in Thai culture.
No. They do celebrate, but it's just a reason to go out party and
shopping
and drink and hang out with friends. Yeah, but it's not let's all get together, have a turkey dinner. A big feast. It's never like that. So I never experienced that side of Christmas holiday.
Well, Christmas for me was different when I was a kid as well because my family is Catholic and I went to Catholic school. So Christmas was more of a religious event. We would go to church when we were young, or the school would have some sort of celebration. We sing. At home, though, we don't really celebrate. So it was more like a school thing. So once I stopped... I finished school, not that I stopped school, but I finished my education, then Christmas didn't seem as big of a deal.
Oh, I remember when
anymore.
I was in school too. We celebrated in school, gift exchange, and that's it. And when you go home, nothing happened.
Secret Santa.
Yeah.
I did really want to celebrate Christmas when I was a kid, though, because when you see all those holiday movies and your classmates talk about Christmas at home and everyone's so excited to go to bed at night, Santa's gonna come and then there's gonna be cookies and milk put out. That stuff for me is very westernized. I think we didn't. I eventually asked my mom, can we do this? And I guess she was like, sure, you can put milk in cookies, but the ants will come probably. Not Santa, but she let us do all of that stuff and hang stockings.
Elf on the shelf?
No, too old for that. That came like
Later on?
later
Yeah.
on, I think.
Your mom never cooked you like special Christmas dinner?
We had like potluck dinners. So it would
Potluck
be
with whom? With your...
with the aunties and
Oh,
uncles.
okay.
So like my mom's friends would host these big Christmas dinners. So it would be like 10 families all bringing something there. Someone would bring turkey, I guess, but it's like most Asian potlucks. So it's like fried rice, chicken wings,
Spring rolls.
like, you know, like,
That's not very Christmassy, isn't it?
but it's not like a roast dinner. Like
With
so-
cranberry sauce, with stuffing, nothing like that.
Not really, not that I remember. Like someone would make it, but that's not like the highlight
Yeah.
of it, like a Western Christmas dinner. It was still like good memories, but I don't think it was a traditional way of celebrating Christmas.
I never had that experience, but I want to have that experience.
We eventually, when we had our first home though in Calgary.
Yeah, we bought a tree, like a proper tree, not
Yeah.
just, we used to have this little one, but we actually invested, $200 and bought the actual tree
Yeah,
that is
a nice
about our
tree.
size and tried to fill it up as much as possible.
I made Christmas breakfast. So I made like a little Santa Claus pancake, and then we had breakfast, and then we opened all our presents. And that year, it was quite special because we still needed quite a few things for our home. So it was so easy to buy presents. Like we bought a blender, we bought like kitchen stuff basically. We were still kind of new to the city, so I remember your dad buying us a lot of gift cards for different restaurants in the city that were quite like well known and famous.
Yeah, this is in Calgary.
So we had a lot of fun for the next couple months going out for date nights and just getting to know the city more because it was my first time living in Calgary.
See, talking about that makes me happy, and I actually think that it's not that holidays are not important to me, but I just never get the opportunity to celebrate them properly. Like if we were to have an actual home,
Yeah.
I would love to buy the biggest tree I can afford, like deck it out, invite all my friends and family over, and then host
Host family, yeah.
family dinner and friends, make dinner for friends and family. That's and exchange gift. I think that's what I would love to do. Since we were little, we both moved a lot.
Yeah.
We never really had a base that we get to do that.
I agree. I think a huge part of like why holidays mean less and less to us is because we travel full time now. It's almost like maybe we're protecting our souls, our emotions a little bit by being like, oh, holidays is fine. Because like when we receive like photos of like families celebrating their holidays, like my family celebrating their holidays and sending all these cute photos with our nephews, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. Like I wish we could be there too. So maybe it's just us being like, we can't be there, so let's not like dwell
Make a big deal
on
of
it
right?
and be like, oh, holidays is fine. Another reason is also when it's holiday season, everything is more expensive. So for us, without a home base, hotels are more expensive. Going out to find a restaurant to eat is harder.
Places are more crowded.
Yeah, people are on vacation with their families. Everything is more expensive. So for us, it's also a more stressful time because we don't have like a home to go back to.
So it's like a love and hate relationship.
Yeah,
with
I
the
guess
holidays.
so. I used to feel, I had a time where I remember telling you like I don't like holidays, but maybe I think it goes deeper than that. It's just because we don't have a place to really celebrate it, so we don't make really an effort to try to do it. We don't even buy presents anymore, to be honest. Like we used to try to think of presents for each other, but because we now spend 24/7 together, it's really hard to buy something for the other person without that person knowing. And when we think of something, we just go buy it ourselves. So we're kind of
We don't have to wait for the holidays anymore.
yeah, we were like past that point where we're like, oh, I think he would really like that. I want to surprise him. Like now it's just like, oh, I need this. Okay, let's go get it. But does it make life less
Exciting.
romantic? Do you find buying a present for someone very romantic? Like, would you wish that I would surprise you with something?
See, when I was young, I don't like buying things for people. I only like to receive. But now that I'm older, I like to give presents to people who I love. And it's not just random gift. If I know what they want and I can buy that for them, it brings me a lot of joy seeing that they're enjoying the gifts that I buy for them. Like when we used to have a house in Calgary, I know exactly what you wanted. You wanted, what is it, KitchenAid mixer. And I went to buy it for you and you were so happy. And you wanted ice cream maker and you got the ice cream maker. You know, like it's a lot easier to find out what you wanted when we have a house and the kitchen. You really enjoy spending time in the kitchen and you like to come up with new recipes, learning new way of cooking different things. So I knew exactly what you wanted. And you also told me what you wanted.
Well, I actually told you Canadian Tire has a sale.
Yeah.
I want this in cornflower blue color. You can go get it.
Yeah. And I love that. It's so easy for me. I just go to Canadian Tire. I knew exactly what I needed to buy. I don't have to spend too much time browsing the store.
But how about like surprise gifts? Have you put time into thinking what I might like, but you don't necessarily, like I don't have to tell you, but like a thoughtful gift?
Not really, because you have been telling me that you don't like surprises. So I kind of stopped thinking about surprising you.
True. I'm like, if I like something, I'll be like, that's what I like.
Yeah.
If you get something I don't like, then I can't hide
Your
it in my
reaction,
face. I'll
right?
be like, oh, thank you.
And then I'll be like, oh, I thought you liked this.
Like one time you got me flowers. You picked me up from the airport and you got me a beautiful like bouquet of roses.
Beautiful red roses. Expensive too. It was like $20. In Thailand, that's very expensive.
And it was the first time really for me to receive like beautiful flowers like that. But I don't like flowers. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I remember you saying, would you like a photo with the flowers? I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I held the flowers and I took a photo. And then
You left them on the counter to die.
I don't know what to do with flowers. Like, I don't even think it's like nice to put them in a vase or anything. Like, I don't know. I was like almost hoping that they would like dry. Like I was hanging them upside down, hoping they would just like dry. Those experiences might have traumatized you.
So I thought you liked flowers because your name is Flora.
Yeah, if you bought me a bouquet of cilantro, I would be like, wow, I can eat it.
Okay, now I know.
But if you buy me flowers, I'll be like, I don't know what to do with these flowers. And it's so short-lived. Even shorter when I touch them. So you're definitely kind of terrible at surprise gifts. But do you want me to surprise you with gifts? You do?
Yes. I don't remember the last time you surprised me with anything. A Tissot watch? That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, the watch was a surprise.
Yeah. You usually ask me what I wanted. And I often say I don't want anything. Even on my birthday, not just holidays, I don't really want anything.
Well, there's certain things I know that it's better to ask you. Like I don't really shop clothes for you anymore because you're very particular with what you like.
Yeah, because my bicycle is so much bigger than normal men and it's hard to find clothes that fit me well. So I need to try them first.
The surprise is just, I'm like, let's go buy it. Like you're like, I want a new iPhone 13 Pro Max. This was like 2 years ago, I think. So I said, let's go buy it for your birthday. Since you were excited about something, I want to like support you and make it happen as soon as possible. But I also don't think I know how to surprise you because sometimes that can be a waste of money. And sometimes what you really want as a surprise is way out of my budget.
So if you never really celebrated Christmas when you were young, what was the holiday that you look forward to?
Chinese New Year.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. For me too, Chinese New Year.
Because Chinese New Year is so exciting because first you get red pockets, so you get some extra money to spend.
Yeah, that's the main thing I like about the holiday is that I get money from my mom.
But there's more than that though, because like during Chinese New Year, you get to gather and celebrate more with family. For me, it feels like the first 5 days are quite important. Like you get to see different relatives, you get to see different like friends, and you gather together and you have really good food. And then also during Chinese New Year, you get to eat all these little snacks at the table. Like there's always like a snack box full of these like sugar-coated goods. So we get to snack on those and no one tells you off during that time. It's so festive. I do keep to some traditions in my family, like as in we don't wash our hair on New Year's Day because like hair is money. Because tao fat is hair, but fat choy is like getting rich. So like you don't wash your hair on New Year's Day because you're washing all of your money away. Yeah. So like there's like certain things that I think is really neat about Chinese New Year.
But for me, my mom would just cook a bunch of delicious food that I love, like roast chicken, but she cooked all this food.
Is that really for you, right?
It's for the spirit.
Yeah.
Like she would lay it out on the table with incense and do her thing. I don't know exactly the traditions of it. So I just have to wait for she's done with the ceremony.
For the spirit to eat the food first.
So after like 2 hours, everyone else can go eat the food. So that was the highlight, is to eat the food that mom made. And during that time, mom also gave me red pockets. But in Thailand, I don't remember getting red pockets from anyone else
Well,
other than your own family.
That probably is because only Chinese Thais would do that, right? Normal Thais, that's not their New Year. Normal Thais, their New Year is actually Songkran, right? The water festival. Because see, water is also like a sign of wealth, is it?
I don't know.
Like wealth or luck or something. That's why you spray the water on other people because you're...
No, it's more like to wash away the bad luck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I remember the first time spending Chinese New Year with your family. I was like, oh wow, this is so much fun. There's so many relatives there. And I was like, oh, lots of red pockets. Lots of red pockets. There were like 20, 30 people there, and I got a bunch of red pockets from your family and your relatives.
Yeah, that changes when you get married, when you're now the one giving.
Yeah, now we don't really get red pockets anymore.
No, but we only have 3 nephews, so still very affordable.
Having said that, I do have a dream though of spending a white Christmas somewhere festive.
There's a bunch of Christmas markets all over Europe, I think.
Yeah.
Like Germany has amazing Christmas markets. Like you could drink mulled wine, you walk the markets, you drink hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be an amazing experience.
Yeah, but I only want to do that for that week though, because I don't like the cold, but I don't mind spending 1 week with the actual Christmas spirits around me.
It is a bit harder to get into the festive spirit when it's so warm outside. You know, it doesn't feel like Christmas. In Thailand, I feel like the most festive place is the shopping malls with the huge Christmas trees. But then it's more of like a photo opportunity and less of a festive feeling. Yeah, I think holidays for us now is not that big of a deal. But in the future, one day...
We wanted to make it a tradition to to make it a big deal.
It's just like right now this period in our lives where we just don't have a base. We're not with our families that often. It is what it is for
And
now.
our families are all over the place. They're in different part of the world, so it's so hard to have family gathering.
Should we mention the funny story that happened about a month ago?
Yeah.
So actually, we've been married now for 11 years. We've been together for 15 years. And the funny thing is our parents haven't met. Like, your dad has met my parents maybe like 5-6 years ago, and they met quite a few times because sometimes they meet during the holidays when we invite them together and stuff. But your mom living in Canada for most of the year, and then Thailand for some of the year, and my parents living in Hong Kong now for full time, they didn't really have the chance to meet. And your mom wasn't able to come to our wedding in Chiang Mai. It just the time and place, just it didn't work, and they never met. They only met through FaceTime. Finally, a couple weeks ago, we were all in Bangkok together. So my parents came to Bangkok. Your dad was in Bangkok with us already, and your mom decided to come early.
It was unplanned.
Yeah, it was unplanned.
One day she just called and she's like, I think I'm gonna come to Thailand early by myself first. So I was like, oh my God, it's perfect timing because your family are here. My dad is here. It's the only chance that we'll get to meet. We
were like, what do we do? I feel like we have to do something. They should meet, right? So your mom got in that night, like after midnight, but my parents were leaving at 2:00
the next day.
p.m. the next day. So basically, we sat down and had coffee together for 2 hours. And
it went so well.
It went really well. It took them about 15 years to meet, but it went really well. And I'm quite happy when I see that photo, Them meeting now, I feel like is not about like, oh, how will our kids get along and what is our relationship like? But because we've already been together for so long and they all watch our YouTube videos, know how we're like together and stuff. So this time meeting, it's more of like a wholesome gathering that they're like almost celebrating our relationship, and they get along because they all love us. So it felt really nice.
So that we get to meet again in 15 years.
It's super hard. It's like so hard. I think maybe one day when we have a house in Samoy, then perhaps it will become a gathering place for them once again.
That would be nice.
But otherwise, it's so hard to get them together. Like, that's why we spend a lot of the end of the year going to see all of them in different places. Keeps us busy. Hope you enjoyed listening to us share a little bit more about our perspective on holidays in this time of our lives right now. And no matter if you're celebrating a more traditional Christmas or a more non-traditional Christmas like us, or you're just traveling with your family and friends over the holidays, we wish you happy holidays and Merry Christmas. As always, thank you so much for watching.
And we'll see you on the road.
Bye.
Bye-bye.